US newspapers unite against Donald Trump's attacks on the media. Trump has turned the words fake news into an everyday phrase other politicians now use, and he's increased his attacks on the media. But now hundreds of news outlets across the US has described major US outlets as the enemy of the American people, calling journalists horrible, horrendous people that can make anything bad because they are the fake, disgusting news. Well, on Thursday, nearly 350 outlets are publishing editorials in defense. The Boston Globe, which organized the campaign, says Trump is carrying out a sustained assault on the free press. The New York Times warns that calling journalists the enemy of the people is dangerous, and smaller papers joined in, the Albuquerque Journal, saying the attacks could lead to a weakened democracy that's vulnerable to the whims of tyrants. The Committee to Protect Journalists says the White House's rhetoric undermines the media's work globally. Last year, 21 were jailed on false news charges, more than double the number in 2016, and the total number of reporters behind bars reached a record 262. Well, within the last hour, the US president tweeted yet another attack on US media. Donald Trump said, "The fake news media is the opposition party. It's very bad for our great country, but we are winning." Let's go to our White House correspondent now. Kimberly Halkett is joining us live from Washington, D.C. So 350 papers publishing editorials, Kimberly, including some of the most prominent in the U.S. Is that an indication of how widespread concern over Trump's attacks on the media are?
I think it's certainly a reflection of that. We should point out the president, U.S. President Donald Trump, has tweeted again in just the last 2 minutes or so, criticizing two of those newspapers, very prominent, well-established newspapers, the Boston Globe and the New York Times, as he continues to push back on the media campaign that is taking place right now. But with regard to just how widespread this criticism is, the concern of the future of the free press, we have to remember that Donald Trump isn't the first one to raise the concern about the media. In fact, Barack Obama as well, in recent memory, has certainly waged his own war on the media, but it was much more covert, not as overt as we see Donald Trump doing. Certainly there were many reporters who were tracked by the U.S. Justice Department under Barack Obama, were forced to, in many respects, reveal sources. Some were even, in the case of whistleblowers, jailed. This goes back even further. You could keep on going down the line as you look at the history of the presidency. But what Donald Trump has done is he has brought it to the forefront. And he is an equal opportunity name caller. It's not just the media that he attacks. It certainly is also his political adversaries. But given the fact that the free press has a protected role under the U.S. Constitution, that's why we see these newspapers pushing back, highlighting that it is the role of the media to spotlight, to push for transparency in government. But Donald Trump has tapped into something that has existed for a very long time. The fact that there are many in the United States that believe the media has become too elitist, has not become reflective of the ordinary man, and that's why Donald Trump continues to channel this, because it works. If you look at many of the poll numbers, there is a large percentage of Americans, and certainly a majority of conservatives in this country, that believe the media is not doing its job, not telling all sides of the story. Donald Trump is certainly a reflection of that.
Kimberly, thank you very much for that. For now, that is Kimberly Halkett live in the U.S. Capitol. Thank you.